I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? We're going to get into AEW Dynamite from March the 11th, 2026. This was a total disaster of a show. It was a waste of 2 hours. The press conference between MJF and Hangman Adam Page was a total disaster. Tony Khan should be ashamed of himself. He really should. And we are going to get into predictions for this Sunday's Revolution. So not really too much to talk about in terms of Dynamite. Not much happened on the show, just a bunch of matches. The only match I really enjoyed would be Persephone versus Willow Nightingale. That was it. Other than that, everything else on the show was boring. I was on my phone for most of this, and listening to music at the same time. So, yeah. So, we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. It was the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley versus Tenosuke Takeshita and Hechicera of the Don Callis family. Claudio Castagnoli gets the win via a roll-up. Who really cares? He wins via an inside cradle. Don't really care about this. This was boring. It put me to sleep, basically. Post-match, the rest of the Don Callis family came out to beat up on Moxley, and they brought a steel chair in the ring, and they wanted Takeshita to use it. Takeshita refused to do it, and Don Callis was able to defuse the situation, and then Takeshita points at Jon Moxley, does the belt symbol, saying that he wants the title on Sunday. Whatever, I don't really give a shit about this. Takeshita, I like him. Jon Moxley, not so much. Are we ever going to end this Death Riders faction? Probably not. It's been going on for about, 2 years? So, yeah. This will probably end up being AEW's version of the Judgment Day. I've said that on numerous occasions. So, yeah. Moving on, this leads us into Willow Nightingale and Persephone, who look really good. Both women look really good. So, they basically just have a friendly chat about who's going to hit harder. And they both talked about beating Mercedes Moné for their respective titles. And then they wish each other luck, and then that was it. So that's fine there. Whatever, who gives a damn. Hopefully Mercedes will come back from this hiatus. She's been on for basically about a month and a half. I think she took it back in, I want to say, maybe early February. So, whatever. Who gives a damn? Moving on, this will lead us into Kyle Fletcher. He defeated Speedball Mike Bailey. He retained the TNT Championship. To the geeks and sickos online, this was a banger or a 5-star classic. Don't really care. I don't care about any of this crap. So Kyle Fletcher wins. Don't care. Who cares? Whatever. Moving on. This leads us into Brody King. He defeated a jobber in like 5 seconds. He ended up doing a clothesline followed by the Gunzo bomb for the 1, 2, 3. So, Brody King just said some words, basically talking about, Swerve and how he's going to hurt Swerve when he sees him. So, Brody King goes to the crowd. He's attacked by Swerve, who's stealing Seth Rollins' gimmick as being a masked man, which is so damn dumb because we see it way too much in over in WWE, basically. We see it way too damn much. We see it every single Monday, just about, and it's nauseating. So Swerve attempts to choke out Brody King. Then Brody King's able to beat Superman and break the chain, and then he beats Swerve with it, and then he chokes out Swerve with the chain for a brief second. Prince Nana, he shows up. He fights off Brody King for a brief second. Brody King just shoves Nana, and then Swerve gets out of dodge, and that was the end of that segment. So that's fun. That was kind of funny with Nana doing his little punches. So that's funny there. Whatever. Who cares? Moving on. This leads us into the Bullet Club Dogs of War. They defeated Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. So who cares? This was David Finlay's debut match alongside his partner in crime, Gabe Kidd. Don't really care. Hangman Adam Page 2.0, aka Clark Connors, showed up. He hit Orange Cassidy in the back of the head via a tire iron, which was fucking insane. I was like, holy hell, that was way too much. So then post-match, after the heels won, they beat up on Orange Cassidy until Roderick Strong showed up, made the save. It seemed like he was going to turn on Orange Cassidy because he was wearing all black, but he didn't do it. He ended up fighting off the Dogs of War, and the babyfaces stand tall: Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Roderick Strong. And the crowd was heavily into this. So I don't care about any of this shit at all. I really don't give a damn about this shit. Moving on, this leads us into Willow Nightingale versus Persephone. Match was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. So Willow Nightingale won. She wins via a backslide, so another roll-up. So we get basically 2 roll-up victories a week from AEW. Same thing goes with WWE. TNA may do it maybe once or twice a week as well. So yeah, basically every company's doing it now. Roll-ups. But who gives a damn about that, really? It's pro wrestling at the end of the day. So basically, Willow Nightingale gets on the mic. She said that she's going to be pulling double duty on Sunday. So she's going to be wrestling on the 0 hour. She's going to issue an upper challenge to Lena Cross, who just joined the promotion about a month ago, back at AEW Grand Slam Australia. So basically about a month ago. And she's gonna be defending the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships with Harley Cameron. So whatever, who cares? Moving on from that, this leads us into the main event of the evening. It was Mark Briscoe and the Young Bucks versus Tommaso Ciampa and FTR. So the heels win. So Tommaso Ciampa wins. He turned heel on Collision. They showed the video package and stuff before the match took place, which was nice. So that's fine. Tommaso Ciampa's always done his best work as a heel anyway, if we're being honest. So it is what it is there on that end. Basically, not much really happened. Whatever. I don't give a shit about this at all. And then post-match, Tommaso Ciampa ended up doing a Psycho Driller, threw some chairs onto Mark Briscoe, which was nasty as shit. The crowd pops, and that was the main event, wrestling-wise, of the show. The actual closing segment of the show was basically the press conference, which was done by Bryan Danielson. They did a video package before they did the event and everything else, talking about their heated rivalry over the years. It was a bunch of reporters, in air quotes. They were there, basically the wrestling media. So I think Meltzer was there. I know he was in the crowd for sure. Denise Salcedo was there because she actually did one of the questions. Oh my God. So basically, one of the reporters wanted to know if Hangman is just for the world title or out for revenge. Hangman says that he's going for revenge. That includes taking what it means most to MJF, and that's his world title. Another reporter wants to know the match stipulation affects how they prepare for the match. MJF says the stipulations are stupid, and he'll be leaving with his world title. Hangman then says that MJF is going to be leaving in an ambulance. And a reporter says that MJF lost twice to Hangman last year, and he wants to know how he could beat Hangman this time. MJF calls the guy a tub of goo, and says that he will not lose to Hangman again, and he'll be leaving as champion. So another reporter asked about it being a Texas death match. Hangman says that he won the title in this match, so it means a lot. He defended this title in this type of match. Another reporter runs down the history of Hangman. When it comes to his matches in California, Hangman says that he's better off laying it all on the line when it comes to this match. People have been comparing their stories and their careers, and they just want to finish it. It'll be bloody, and it'll be violent. So the last question is for Hangman, and they want to know what Hangman will do if he doesn't win on Sunday. MJF says, yeah, Hangman, what are you going to do? So Hangman begins to doubt himself a little bit. MJF has 2 beers here to toast to the challenger. So he pours the beer on Hangman. They begin the brawl. This leads into the arena, the venue that they were in. Security gets beat up by Hangman. So Hangman hits a buckshot lariat on MJF. And then MJF is about to use the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So Hangman ducks MJF's swing, and then he hits the Deadeye on MJF. He goes under the ring and pulls out a barbed wire board. He's about to do the Deadeye on that, and then MJF's able to get out of dodge. And then both guys yell at each other as MJF's up the ramp, and then that was it. I don't care about any of this shit at all. I don't. Right? Like, we already know this is going to be a long, boring... Well, we already know that this is going to be a long pay-per-view anyway. This show probably won't go off the air till about 12:30. We know that we're probably going to do about a good 30 minutes, basically, with this. I don't know, man. This was pathetic. Tony Khan literally should be embarrassed and ashamed of himself. He really should. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. I feel that Tony Khan has no idea what he's doing when it comes to running a pro wrestling company, and he's not had that idea in 7 years. And this was no different. This was pathetic. This was absolutely pathetic, and I don't know what else really to say. Like, this never should have been done. This was totally embarrassing. So let's go ahead and get into the predictions for Revolution. So they're going to be in the Crypto.com arena with seats, $20K for concerts, $19K for basketball. For boxing and wrestling, about $16K to $21K. Don't know how many tickets have been sold for the event. It's not really all that important, really, for being honest. It's going to be in LA, so it's going to be smart territory. So, whatever. We've got on hand 13 matches. Oh my God, it makes no sense. Let's just go into the main card. Not really going to do much of the 0 hour stuff because it's not important. Who cares? So, let's go with FTR versus the Young Bucks Part 4 for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It's probably going to be the Young Bucks to win, obviously. They're in their backyard, basically. LA is, almost where they're from, kind of. It's like they're home away from home, so why wouldn't the Young Bucks win here? Don't really give a shit about this. Moving on. John Moxley versus Tenosuke Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. It's a no time limit. Oh my God. I'm gonna go with Takeshita winning this. This will probably go a good, probably 30 minutes, knowing the two of them. Moving on, a match that I am looking forward to: Bandito versus Andrade El Idolo. I'm gonna go with Andrade winning. Another match I'm looking forward to is Swerve Strickland versus Brody King. I think Swerve is gonna win that one. And clearly he's going to, be set up to face MJF at Dynasty. Moving on from that, Tekla versus Chris Statlander. 2 out of 3 falls for the AEW Women's World Championship. This should be fun. Tekla's obviously going to retain. So, there's that. Moving on, trios match for the AEW Trios World Championship. It's going to be the Don Callis family, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Kazuchika Okada versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey, and Mystico. That should be fun. The Don Callis family are going to retain their the Trios Championships. So, yeah, there's that. And then let's go to Willow Nightingale versus Lana Cross. Willow Nightingale's going to retain her TBS Championship. On to the 21 Blackjack Battle Royal. The winner of that's going to face Ricochet for his AEW National Championship at some point. I don't really care about this at all. I don't care who wins. So, no comment, basically. I don't care. Main event of the evening, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. If Hangman loses, he can never challenge for the AEW World title again. MJF's going to win this. How does he win? I don't know. Maybe if Wardlow's not injured, maybe he shows up and cost Hangman, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Swerve shows up and gets involved and costs Hangman, and they do Swerve and Hangman at some point again. I don't know. But MJF is going to win. He needs to win. Like, why would he lose here? If we're being honest, it wouldn't make any sense. So there is that. And that's it. Everything else is just pre-show stuff. I'm not gonna really go over that anyway. So whatever. Like, oh, I forgot to mention Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir. That's probably gonna be on the main card. Probably. It should be. You never know. Should be. Well, yeah, that would be on the main card. Toni Storm's going to win that. Like, why would she lose? Like, clearly, Toni Storm has no sense of direction. I don't know what the fuck's going on with RJ City. I really don't. So, whatever. Toni Storm needs her a really good dance partner, and her really good dance partner is in NXT, Mariah May, a.k.a. Blake Monroe. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But Revolution is going to be long. It's going to be about a good 4.5 hours, probably 5.5 if you watch the fucking pre-show, which is going to be an hour. So whatever. But all in all, Dynamite was a shit show as per usual, and I'm not really all that invested in Revolution outside of a couple of matches, like I mentioned. So yeah. But what do you guys think of Dynamite, and what are your predictions for Revolution? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.